Let me start recording. Good. So here is the structure of the IT team. Today we are going to talk about one of the applications. Let's talk about Talabat. Good. Let's talk about the company Talabat. Okay. I didn't choose a bigger company. I'm just talking about Talabat. So who do you think built up the application for the company Talabat? Which team in the IT did actually build the application, the mobile application that we are using?
Development.
Of course, development team are the one who build up the Talabat application. What else they will build up other than the mobile application? They will make the web page, they will make the Android application, they will make the iOS application, they will make the, I don't know, the portal for the restaurants, they will make the applications for the drivers. All this stuff are done by what? By a developer team. Good. So the developer team is the one who built up these applications. Good. Now he built the applications. Okay. Now I am their first customer. Good. I am the first restaurant with Talabat. I went out on Talabat. They convinced me, so I started my restaurant. I told them, okay, I will put my menu there. I will add the menu name. I will add the item, shawarma. I will let the customer choose mkhallal, pickled, garlic, whatever. I will add hamburger. I'll add pizza. I'll do my menu. This information, where is it kept?
Database.
In the database. So what is the database? If I want to tell you what's the database technically it looks like Excel sheet. Good. Almost. So the database will look like this. And it will have restaurant 1. Menu 1 is like shawarma. Menu 2 is like falafel. Menu 3, come on, I'm so hungry, guys. I should talk about something else other than Talabat. You got the point? Then you have restaurant 2, the restaurant 3, and data is piled up in that database. So the database is where all these data pile up. What other data, Hassan? There is the data from the customers. Me, you, your father, your sister, all of you guys using Talabat. You have the mobile on your phone. You have details on Talabat. What did you order last time? When did you order it? How much money did you pay? Blah, 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 blah. All these stuff are recorded where? In the database. But that database, it's at the end, it's a file. It's a file. Where is that file saved? Good. Where is that? It's not one file on the server. Database, by the way, it's not one file. It's files, but I'm making simple. Okay. So all these stuff are saved where? On the server. So now what is the server? The server technically, it's a strong computer, a more powerful computer. Let's say, guys, if I want to do a database for your class, do I need a server? Well, any computers can do it. So you only 10 people. Like any computer can run you guys. How much information I have about you. But imagine the information that Ihtiraz have. You have Ihtiraz information about like 2-3 million people. Of course, if I put it on my laptop will not take it. It needs a bigger machine. So the server, if I want to say it in a funny way, server technically is a bigger computer, a stronger computer, more powerful computer. Okay, so this data is saved on the server. Of course, not only the data, the application itself is saved on the server. Everything is saved on the server. So now, what is the job of the server team then? So if I am working in the server team, what do you guys think my job will be?
To make sure the data is protected.
Make sure the server is running. Good. My main job is make sure the server is running, and then make sure the application on the server, the stuff that are on the server, is safe. Of course, it's protected, but my first job is make sure it's running, because if the server goes down, what will happen? Everything will go down. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Okay, so if the server goes down for whatever reason, then everybody, all the systems, all the stuff will fail down. Good. So the server is a big computer. So me as a server guy, I will have my main job is to make sure that server is up and running, that it is working, that there is nothing wrong with that server. Good. It's also include what? That server is a computer at the end. It has operating system like Windows. You know how Windows keeps sending you update? You know how your Android keeps sending you update, how your iPhone keeps sending you update? Then we have to update the server. We have to configure the server. Do you think company like CNAQ has one server? We have about 70, 80, 90 servers here in CNAQ. At Qatar University, we have like 300 servers. At BlackBerry, we have 5,000 servers. Good. So it's not one server, maybe thousands of servers on that. So the main job of the server team is to keep the servers what? Up and running. Okay. Now, and of course, including security, make sure the data is safe. Of course, that's part of their job. Now, how do you guys think the server is communicating with the mobiles of the customers, is communicating with the computers of the restaurants, is communicating with the computers of the developer team? You know, the developer guys are sitting in their office. They are not sitting inside the server room. Good. How do you think it's communicated with the security guy, with all those guys? How do you think the server is communicating with all those guys?
Through network?
Through network. Exactly. So how does your phone, how does your smart TV at home connect to your mobile so you'll be able to stream your picture on the TV? Through network. If the Wi-Fi is off at your home, can you send the photo from your mobile to the TV? No, I cannot send it. I have to have a network. So the network allow these PCs, like the employee PCs and the servers, to talk to each other inside the company. It also allows them to talk to the rest of the world. This is the job of the network team. Good. This is the job of the network. I don't want to say the network team. This is the job of the network. The network job is to make sure all these PCs are connected together. If I have my computer not on the network, what can I do with it? You can do whatever is on your computer, like your phone. If you guys are on airplane mode, you know when you put your phone on airplane mode, that means you disconnected your phone from your network, from the Wi-Fi and from 4G. You disconnected your phone. What can you do on your phone? You can call up anybody? No. Can you play a game? Maybe if the game is available on the phone. But if the game including like Fortnite where you have to play with other people, you cannot play with other people. Can you send messages on WhatsApp? No, you are not on the network. Can you take a photo? Yes, I can take a photo, but I cannot send it to anybody. Later, maybe I can send it to anybody. You got the point? So this is what the job of the network. This is what a network is. Network simply connecting two PCs together. And of course, this PC to this PC and this PC to this, blah, 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 connecting the entire world. So the internet is the biggest network in the world. Okay? Now, what is the job of the network team? Network team have to deal with the routers. They are the one who are responsible for the Wi-Fi in the organization. If you go to any hotel, there is Wi-Fi for the hotel. If you go to any hospital, there is Wi-Fi in the hospital. Network team responsible for the Wi-Fi and the stuff. Network team also responsible for the cabling. You know how you go to Hamad Hospital or to the health center, there is a PC, and the PC is connected to the wall with a cable. Network team is responsible for the cabling and the Wi-Fi. They are also responsible for the phone system. Good. They're responsible for the phone system. They are also responsible for connecting to Ooredoo or Vodafone or whatever the internet provider that organization is handling. So this is the job of who? Of the network guys. Clear? Again, guys, if I am talking too fast, good, and I know I can talk too fast, especially when you teach the same class, the same topic like 4 times in 2 days, you start going faster and faster every time. So if I'm talking too fast, stop me. If you have any question, ask me, interrupt me. If you are happy, give me a happy face, a smile, anything that make me feel that you guys are still alive. Like every few seconds, somebody in the chat send me a hand up, high five, just to know. Okay, good. So now we know the job of the server team. We know the job of the network team. Good. Of course, the job of the database team, they're the one who makes sure the database is working. They back it up, they maintain it, they make sure it's not destroyed. They do backup just in case something went wrong, blah, 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 blah. Now we know the job of the development team. Good. Let me know this now. Now, me, Hassan, good. I put the order doesn't go. I put the order doesn't go. Habibi, what's happening? I'm so hungry and my kids are nagging on my head and my wife is not here to make them food And if I don't do anything, they will kill me. They'll eat me alive. What do I do next? What do you guys do?
Help desk.
You call the support team, usually the help desk. Either you call them, or you email them, or you send them WhatsApp message, or whatever the way you call them. Now, hey, help desk, how many my kids will eat me alive if you guys don't send me the pizza? The help desk guy will look into the system like, oh, yes, sir, wait 1 minute, I will call the restaurant. He like, Habibi, why you didn't take the restaurant food? Oh, 1 second. Thank you. It is solved. So help desk job is to do what? To try to help me fix my problem as a customer. Okay, same thing restaurant. Restaurant can call the help desk, says, Habibi, I got the order from the customer, but the order, it says 50 riyal, but it has 50 items. There is no way it's 50 riyal, something wrong. Good. The help desk will look at it, like, yeah, wallahi, this guy ordered 10 pizza. How come 10 pizza for 10 riyal? Is something wrong? They will try to help the customer. You clear with the job of the help desk? Now, what if the help desk cannot help? What is something it's more beyond their ability? Like what? Like a restaurant call and his computer, the computer that is using is not working. Or the computer, for some reason, it's not connected to the internet, whatever. Let's talk about, forget about talabat, they don't do that, but I'm talking about myself. Now I'm a teacher, I'm in my office, I have my lab, my desktop, I turn it on, it doesn't power. Press the power, no power. I call the help desk, they said, check the power cable, check, no, nothing. The computer, no power. Now help desk cannot do anything for me anymore. Somebody have to come to my office, take the computer apart, look inside it, and find what's wrong, what did actually damage in the computer. Those guys are who?
IT technicians?
We call them IT technician or desktop team or support team or on-site support, whatever you want to call them. But these are the guys who will go to the customer. Help desk, customer come to them. Desktop, they go to the customer. Good? So this is the idea. Now, sometimes the problem is in the application itself. Like, Habibi, the application should not be doing this. Like, how come you order 10 pizza and it's come as 10 riyal? It should be 100 riyal. The application is doing something crazy. In that case, they send that to whom? To the managing team, the team that managed the application. They are part of the developer team. But what's the difference between the two? Technically, there is no difference. If you are working in a small company, it will be the same guy. Will do development, and when somebody call him, he will go fix it. If you are talking to a better companies, they separate them. Like, for example, I'm not sure about Talabat, but I'm assuming right now in Talabat, the development team, let's say they have 5 people, they are working on the new version of Talabat. You know how there is a new version of your game, there's a new version of your whatever. Those guys are working on the new version. And then there's 2 guys here are troubleshooting the current version. So really, why is this Hassan guy, when he orders, we charge money from him and the system says we took the money and the Visa card is charged, but the money doesn't show in the account? He will go and troubleshoot what's wrong. So in Qatar University, for example, we had 5 people in total. What did the team lead did? He says every week, 4 guys will be focused in development. Nobody will bother them. They will focus on finishing the new project. There is a new product, the new software that have to be done. And 1 guy will be doing what? Support and development. Of course, these guys need a lot of focusing. They have to focus. You cannot be writing a code that calculates a lot of stuff in your head, and every 2 minutes somebody knock the door at you. It's very annoying. So those guys, he hired them somewhere, nobody come to them, and 1 guy is here. That guy, if he's free, nobody having problem, he will try to do some coding, he will try. And then he gets a call, he will fix it, then he will go back. But in some companies, no, there are 2 separate teams immediately, completely separate teams. Okay, but you guys got the point. Okay. Now, the other question. Me, Mr. Hassan, I am a very smart guy. I'm the hacker. You know what? I will steal Talabat. I will hack them, and then I will crack their system, and I will add $5,000 to my mobile money. So I can order food for the next 2 months without paying. Good. Whose responsibility is to preventing? Security team.
Security team.
Good. First of all, somebody would tell me, Hassan, how can we do it? Can we actually do that? Of course you can. Can you show us? No, I don't. Why? You don't know? No, I don't know. Really, I don't know. And if I know, I will do it, and I will not show it to you, because if I show it to you, they'll figure it out. Okay? Yes, it can be done. Anything is hackable. Anything is hackable. Good. Hassan, how can we stop it? You can stop it. There is rules. The hacker uses a specific way. You will use a mechanism against that way. And it's a matter of the hacker find a way to sneak in that you didn't notice to block. Good. That's the matter. That's the life of the security team. Of course, he doesn't have to invent this stuff. Most of the security guys now who work in security across the country that I know about, whether here or in a BlackBerry or in Best Buy or everywhere I work, most of their job is technically managing the security systems. Like, for example, we at Qatar University bought an antivirus software that would go to every PC. We bought something called firewall to protect the network. We brought something called sandbox that will do something that I honestly don't understand half of what's going on there. And we bought these systems. So the security guy, he understands these systems and he monitors these systems. And based on this monitoring, he will get red flags and warning about somebody is trying to do something not obvious or not normal on this port. So he might be trying to hacking. Then the guys will watch that port, watch what's going on. Good. The crazy stuff that you see in the movie, it happened in the real life, but it happened on a very, very high, heavy level. It doesn't happen on the normal day-to-day life of a normal security guy in the company. Okay. So this is the security guy. Now, oh, what did I do? Sorry, I'm trying to keep the screen clear as much as I can. Now, another question. I called the help desk. Salam guys, how are you? Alhamdulillah, how is the weather in Doha? Nice. Yeah, wallahi, I am so hungry, but Habibi, I have a problem. What's the problem? I finished my iqama. My boss terminated me and I left Qatar, alhamdulillah. But when I did that, they canceled my SIM card. And now I cannot access Talabat. My SIM card used to be 55555. That's my phone number. And I don't have this SIM card. Orido cancel it for me. So can you please let me install Talabat again on my phone? And help me get my account with my new phone number 3333. What do you guys think you should do? I call the help desk. You are the help desk who answer me, and I give you this very nice story. What do you do? Come on. What do you guys think you will do? You will help me?
Check if it's authentic.
So what does that mean? Sorry, I didn't hear it clearly.
Check if it's authentic, if the person is.
Yes, exactly. It's not authentic. I know the word is right, but it's in the wrong place in the sentence. Authenticate the person. And the right word, in the English word, we say verify that this is him. You need to verify that this is actually Hassan speaking, not somebody trying to steal Hassan money. Good. You have to verify that this is Hassan speaking. That process, they call it authentication. Do you have authentication? Good. Make sure that it is actually Hassan is Hassan. How can we make sure that it's Hassan? What does your bank do when you call them? What does Orido do?
Maybe by the Qatar ID.
Good. So you will ask him specific questions. Good. You will ask him specific question. So what do you think? You will ask him about his Qatar ID? What do you think? Qatar ID is enough?
No.
Why? Because half the country have my Qatar ID. Like, man, from the guy who do my laundry to the guy who do my car to the insurance company, to the mechanic, everybody have my Qatar ID. So what do you need? You need to find what? Different questions. Good. Now, if I ask you guys, now you guys with me are 10 people. If I ask you what is the best questions, I'm sure I will get like 40 answers. You are 10 guys, I'll get 40 answers. So who's responsible to decide what is the question that we should ask before we help the customer? Which team?
Governance.
Governance.
Yes.
Good. Which team decide about how do we do this thing? Governance. Which team decide should we get this or we get this before we do this? It's governance. So governance is the guys who put the rules. And again, don't misunderstand that word. They are not, I don't want to say the word, but they are not gods. They are not big boss. They are just a guy who study the system. So a governance guy will sit down with help desk, will sit down with few customers, will sit down with the network or the server or the security team, anybody involved in this, and they will ask and understand the business. And based on that understanding, they will say, I think we should do it this way. This way, we make sure it's the same guy and we still can get it done and. So they're the one who set up this. Now, for example, all the government organizations in Qatar, like CNAQ, Qatar University, all those guys, they get their governance stuff from the Ministry of Communication. Ministry of Communication governance team, he put the rule for the entire IT departments across the country, of the government IT department across the country, and he put recommendation for the private sector. Because now the government notice, you cannot just leave it for the single guy who is sitting in the office. Let's be honest, at Qatar University, we have the security team was one guy. He was doing security and governance and compliance and auditing, good, and he one guy. You cannot leave it for him, man. No matter how smart that guy is, you cannot leave it for him. So that's why the government now is stepping up and helping. Good. But hopefully you guys understand what the governance guy do. Clear? Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I will give you an example about the governance, so you guys understand the governance, how this works. When I was working at BlackBerry, the rule at BlackBerry was like this. If you forget your password, you call the help desk. Help desk will send you the password to your email and send it to your BlackBerry device. All of us at BlackBerry had BlackBerry devices, and BlackBerry device is secure. So you call me, says, hi, my name is Hassan Ode, I'm an employee, I forget my password. So I will ask you, what is your employee number? 14935, okay, 14935, good. And Mr. Hassan, I'm sending you a new password to your phone. Done, I send it to you. Good. And the guy will get it on his phone. He will use that new password to go inside and create a new password. Is there any problem with this? Can somebody give me a problem with this? Oh, it looks nice. There's no problem. Then we figure out the problem. What was the problem? Somebody start attacking us by calling us, says, I am Mr. Rahuma from the IT department. I forget my password. So we reset Mr. Rahuma password and we email it to him. But Mr. Rahuma didn't ask for this. Mr. Rahuma is in the middle of his class, in the classroom. He's doing his work. He didn't ask for a password reset. Now his computer froze him. He cannot log in. He cannot access. He doesn't check his mobile. He's just like, boom, boom, everything shutting down on him. Those guys were attacking us to do this. And then we noticed that there is something wrong with our process. Our process is wrong. What do? We go out and fix the process. Of course, governance, help desk, desktop, we all work together. So what do? We change the process a little bit. What? When Ahmed calls and says, my name is Ahmed, I forget my password, can you reset it? We will tell him, do you have your phone with you? He says, yes. We'll tell him, we're sending you an email. Please reply to that email. And then we send him an email saying, hey, did you actually ask to reset your password? If yes, please reply. If no, please ignore. So he will get the email. He will reply to it, says, yes, that now we know that he is actually him. Then we will set his password. So you see how we stop the attack without actually modifying the firewall or the network security stuff. All what we did is what? Changing people behavior a little bit. Clear what the governance team do? Governance is very important for security, because in matter of fact, 90% of the attacks, it doesn't come from the security point of view. Attackers find out it's easier to fool somebody to do something stupid than you actually crack the server. So it's easier for me to tell a story for the security guy in front of the door. My mom, my daughter, my sister, and he will let me in, than me go steal a security key and have a nice key and break the wall and break the window and enter in the building. So it's easier to cheat people than doing this. So that's why governance is important. That's why governance is very critical stuff. Clear, guys? Anybody have a question about this stuff? Of course, the job of the audit team, they're the one who will come to you and they will scare the hell out of you. And they will tell you we are coming to audit you. And then they will tell you, okay, open your system, open this one for me, this record. Show me, did you follow all the steps when you done this record? So depend on your luck. If you are lucky, the guys who done the job at that time, they done it right, they will not catch you. If you are not lucky, they will catch the one ticket that you didn't do it right. You are not doing your job. So auditing, guys. Clear? Good. So one more thing about the server, because we didn't explain it clearly. Can somebody tell me when you guys, how do you guys access Facebook?
By logging into the account, our email and password.
By username and password. Good. That username and password, what you guys call it username and password, we call it as what? As account. When you guys join CNAQ, did you get your 600 number? Of course. Your 600 number and your password, this is what? This is your CNA account. So everybody who works in CNAQ, he get what? An account. I have an account, you have an account, the president have an account, the security guy have an account. We all have accounts. These accounts are created where? On the server. Good. So what is the benefit of these accounts? The benefit of these accounts, we use them, or the server use them, to decide who can access what. Can you guys change your own grade? No. Who can change that? The teacher. So the teacher account have access to this classroom grade, and he have access to change, or what we call it in technology, read write. He have access to read and he have access to write. You guys as a student, you only have access to only your line. You only see your mark. You don't see the other student mark, and you only see, you cannot change. So your access is called what? Read only. Good. So who decide who get what? I don't want to say who decide, but who set up who get what? Server team. So if you are working at the server team, part of your job in the server team is to set up the system. So Hassan is a new teacher in the College of IT. So he will get access to this and this and this and this and this. Sarah, she is a new student coming to the IT. She will get access to this and this and this. Okay. You guys are poor guys. You didn't come to the campus a lot. But for your information, here in the IT building, we have what we call it IT lunch room. We have 2 rooms where we had Xbox and coffee machine and stuff that are really, really cool for the student to play with. Good. We only give access to the IT student. So if you are a business student, you don't get that to access that room. Only IT students get that room. Good. How do we give that access? Again, the server and the database, and of course the door. You got the point of the server? Good?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That's the job of the server. Okay. So now, what are we going to teach you in the university? What are you guys going to study in the university? As an IT student, what you are supposed to study? Of course, there's a lot of stuff that you have to study, but I'll talk about the major points so you guys understand it. One of the major things that you guys need to study is network. You need to study network. You have to study network. The other ones that you have to study is what we call it server courses. I hate this pen. You don't write, you cannot delete. I don't, it doesn't delete. Anyway, server, anyway. Good, you have to study server courses. Good, you have to study also programming, correct? And you have to study also computer repair or computer hardware in general and other stuff, but I'll talk about this point only for now. Good. Now, why do we need to study network? Of course we need to study network. Everybody needs to use the network. Somebody will tell me, Hassan, listen, don't give me headache. I am studying software. Good. I want to become a programmer, a coder, and I don't want to come near your network. Don't give me headache. How do you think your application works? Do you think your application will always be on the same machine? Do you think application like Ihtiraz is stored in one computer or multiple servers? Of course, it's on multiple servers, in multiple issues. Your application will be put part of it on this server, part of it on this server. If you don't know how the two servers talk, how are you supposed to program your program to work on two computers if you don't know how it works? If you don't know how this stuff works, so you have to know. Of course, there's a big difference between you as a developer, what you need to know, or you as a network guy, what you need to know. The network guy will have to learn way much more stuff than you. Good, but you will learn basic networking. So usually, if it's up to me, for example, if we say, let's say, that in order to become a very good network graduate from university, you have 5 boxes to study of network. Usually, software student might take 1 or 2, while network student, they will have to take what? All the 6. While security guy might take 3. Good? So depend on your classroom, depend on your future, you will get different. Now let's talk about the server guy. The server courses, we have to study servers. Hassan, again, I am a programmer, Habibi. Wallahi, I am a programmer and I'm fed up with you, Hassan. I'm here to study Python and Java, and I don't care about the server. Habibi, where is your data is stored? Your data is stored in the database. And the database is located where? On the server. Now, again, I was just speaking to you 1 minute ago. PeopleSoft is the application that you guys use to see your mark, correct or wrong? Correct. So you guys will use PeopleSoft to see your mark. I use PeopleSoft to modify your mark. So if the guy who programmed PeopleSoft don't understand the server and don't understand how the access work, how can he program the program to know if Hassan can see this mark or not? He needs to understand it. He doesn't need to be super genius expert, but he needs to understand it. So that's why server course 1 and 2 are mandatory for everybody. Good. Now let's go in the opposite way, programming. Alhamdulillah, finally he's talked to me about something I like, programming. So I am a programming student, I am an information system student, I want to study information security, programming. Of course, you will study all the programming courses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But still, infrastructure team, server team, they need to study programming. Why? They need to, they use it. Do you guys understand what programming is? Do you guys know what programming is? Anybody is
Writing
confused?
a code,
Sorry?
writing or developing a code,
Writing a report?
code.
Code. Yeah, but what does that mean?
Writing a code in a specific programming language.
Good. If you remember my last class, I told you my first program that I did when I was in grade 7. Good. The program was a calculator. The program will tell you enter A, you put A. Then enter B, you put B. And then the calculator will tell you A times B equal the answer. So that's a program. A program is something you write to tell the computer to do something for you. It's a command. It's a series of commands to tell the computer to do a series of stuff. So we understand why development people we need it. But why does server team and network team and desktop team and database team, why do those guys need it? I'll give you an example. I am a teacher, good? And forget I am an IT teacher, but I am a teacher. One of the problems that I faced when I came to Qatar, to the CNAQ, is my dean keep telling me, Hassan, take attendance. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Habibi, I don't want to run after the student for attendance. And then, as my mom used to say, if you want to force specific bad word name to work, be desperate from his work. So if I want to force you guys to come to my class, there is useless, so you come. But my manager instead said, no, you have to take attendance. Hello, alhamdulillah. Do you have attendance system? He says no. Okay, leave a piece of paper on the front of the class. As you guys come to my class, you write your name. Alhamdulillah, all the students here are like doctors. Good. They leave the class, you get the paper from them. You cannot read it. Good. Is that Ahmad or Sarah? And don't ask me how is Ahmad and Sarah names are confusing. The guys are disaster handwriting. I start telling them to put their student number. Oh my God. You cannot tell if this is like a 3 or 7, or this is 4 or 6. Then I get fed up with this, man, and then I have to go type it and enter it. So me as a teacher, I went out and I wrote a small program. That program, I bought one of those card readers. I brought it to my computer and I leave the computer in front of the class. Every time a student comes, he will touch his ID. So my program will get the ID number of the student and will get the current time and date, and he will record it in the Excel sheet. He will say student 5 came at 9:01, student 6 came at 9:05, student 17, student 19. He will just, so when every student comes, they touch their card. What do I have here now? I have the list, the student, and when did he come? Good. How much time it take me to create that program? With my experience, and I'm not a programming guy. I love programming, but I'm not that genius, by the way, with that. How much time it take me? It took me like about 30 minutes to do it. Good. And I didn't even do it on a programming language. I did it on Excel. On Excel. Wallah, I did it on Excel. Okay. And then now for the next 2 years, or the past 2.5 years now, I never take attendance on paper anymore. Student will come, beep, 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 attendance is there. I don't have to buy the. You see, I spent 30 minutes on writing few commands. I call them a program, but those now I've been using them for 2 years, and guess how much time they save me? So somebody will tell me, Hassan, okay, you are a very nice teacher. Nobody is like you. You are the best. Good. What about us, normal people, muggles? You know, muggles of Harry Potter. Okay, so I am a Harry Potter. You guys are muggles. What the muggles do, Habib Hassan? Simple. You know how the server guys have to create account for every student? Good. The server guy have to create account. When you go to the menu to create account, it's very, very simple. It's like 14 clicks. You click on the menu, you click in new, then you click and type his first name, you click and type his last name, you click and type his full name as he wants to call himself, then you click and type where you select from the menu which school he's in, and then you select which year he is in, and then I forget what you do, and then you click OK. Good. It's a simple job. It will take about 4 minutes, 5 minutes per student. Good. You know, guys, that we got 2,000 new students this year. In order for me to create these 2,000 accounts, I have to sit there for like a month to finish them. At Qatar University, we used to have 5,000 students every year. It will take them 2 months to do the accounts. So the accounts list comes from the student services. It's an Excel sheet. It has a ton of information. It has their name, their father credit card number, their father last name, their mother number, their date of birth, their city of birth, their passport number, their Iqama number, or their math grade in high school, and I don't know, physics grade, all this stuff in that big Excel sheet. Now, me as a guy who's creating this, what do I need? Wallahi, I need column 5 for the first name, column 7 for the last name, column 13 for the school, column 22 for whatever. Then, instead of me like a muggle technician guy, sit down and do it manually for 5,000 employees, I will go write what we call it a script. The server guys, network guys, security guys, they call it script. They don't call it program. If we call it program, that will make the application team happy, and we hate application team. Good, there's a fight always between us. So we don't call it application, we call it script, just so the application team are not happy with this. So what is my script doing? My script will say, go to the Excel sheet, read me from the first line, column 5, column 7, column 13. Get them and create account. Then go back again to line number 2. Get them, create the account, go number 3, number 4, number 5. Keep looping until you finish. Good? Now, that script, when you run it, how much time it will take to do the 5,000 account? 2 minutes. 3 minutes max. Good? Amazing. Who doesn't want that? Like, which crazy server guy will not accept that? Of course they love it. Network, everybody love it. So how much time it will take to do that script? If you are good in scripting, it will take you maximum half an hour. If it's really complicated script, it might take you a couple of days, 1 day or 2 days. I remember my dad had a friend in his office. My dad in Syria was working on a project for the Ministry of Finance. So Ministry of Finance have branches everywhere in Syria. Good? Everywhere in Syria. In those 14 big cities, 20 small towns, there was about like 75 or 80 branches. You know those Hukumi government that we have here in Qatar, those small offices, but in Syria it's like way much bigger, way much spread out all over the country. Good. Their problem was at the last day of the year, they have to collect all these financial data so they can do the budget. And the way they used to do it, they used to get this stuff 5 days before the end of the year. They close everything, they close everybody, they don't serve anybody anymore. And then they put the data, start coming those files, hundreds of files, and blah, and then they transfer them with the buses to Syria. Disaster. Then my dad has a guy in the office, he was really genius in scripting. He built a script with 1 click, will copy every important file from every department in every place in the country to the central server in 1 click. And I'm talking about 1991. The year was 1991. The internet wasn't even that's there yet. You can imagine. This guy, once he went to France with his manager and the project, and the guys in France were like, no way we can build that for you. It will take us 6 months to build that for you, the scripting. He did it in 1 hour. The guys offered him like $300,000 yearly salary and just stay now here in France and we will do it for you. He says, no, I have to go back to Syria. He went back, his mother, his family there. People are that smart, but you don't need to be that genius. If you are that genius, man, you'll become billionaire. I'm talking about normal technician working a normal job. Same thing exactly for the security team. Security team, you have to monitor hundreds and hundreds of reports. Instead of keeping your eyes on the screen and monitoring them, you can write a small script. The script will look at the alerts, and then if a specific alert comes with a specific number, you get yourself a warning. Good? Simple. Yes, it's simple. You can do it. You see what I'm talking about? small stuff that will help you a lot. That's why you guys need to learn what? Programming. All of you guys need to learn programming. Good. It doesn't matter which programming language you have to learn. All of you guys have to learn this. Clear? I keep stopping and ask for clear because sometimes I feel myself flying. Okay. So now you guys understand how important programming course for you. If you are a software student, of course you understand this. This is your entire life. But now as a software student, you need to understand why is the server courses important for you? Why is the network courses important for you? Why is the security courses important for you? If you are a security student or a hardware student, you need to understand why the programming is important for you. Okay? Good? Now, these stuff we talk about, these are the technical stuff that you guys should learn. Of course, there's a lot of subtopics. I'm not going to talk about every topic now. There's too many stuff, but at least you guys have an idea. Now, what other stuff that we have to teach you that is non-technical? Like what? What do you guys think? Come on, guys. Somebody tell me. Guess. What do you think, Haidar?
I'm a little bit confused.
Non-technical stuff that is not technical. Programming is technical.
Yeah.
Computer fixing is technical.
Yeah.
Server is technical. What other stuff we should teach you that is non-technical stuff? Like what?
Bits.
What? Sorry?
Bits 0-1 binary language.
These are binary language, this technical stuff. This is technology. What about customer service?
Yeah, customer service. Yeah.
You got the point what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Customer
Yes.
service is very, very important thing that you guys need to learn. What about project management?
Yes, that's also not technical.
How to manage a project. Good. There is a lot of non-technical stuff that you guys need to learn about. Good. Even though in the last 20 years, many universities start realizing how much this is important comparing to this. In my days, when I was in the universities in the 90s and the early 2000s, nobody cares about this. I didn't even have a single course that wasn't a technical course. All my 5 years in engineering was technical crap until they load my head until almost explode with technical stuff. Nobody taught me anything non-technical. But now companies start realizing that I need an employee who knows how to talk to people. Me having a genius network guy, but he go fight with the customer. No, man, I don't want that idiot. I'm not here to fight with the customer. I need to know how to deal with people. Good. I having a very nice, smart guy who know how to program stuff when I give him an application to build, but he doesn't know which job should be done first. So you tell him, create me a button in my mobile app that will do whatever, he will do it. But if you tell him, create me the whole mobile app, he will like, okay, so should I do this button first or this button first? Or should I ask this guy to help me with all other? He smashed against the wall. He have no idea. You give him a small job, he will do it. He cannot think bigger. So that's why project management is very important. Good. Let me be honest with you guys. Even though this has changed very well in the last few years, good, and colleges now knows that. And before even I joined CNAQ, I was in the committee who designed the programs for CNAQ as an external consultant. We used to meet with the deans and the guys, and they always used to ask us, what do you think the student have a skill? Of course, technical skill is important for us. All the guys there, when we need some technical skill, but we all were pushing to get more and more soft skill. They call it soft skill. Good, more and more soft skill. To the point where I remember in one of the meetings, the dean says, listen, I don't have a place for project management advanced. And we told him, drop the network 3. And he says, like, seriously, you want me to reduce the network courses and give the guy project management? Yes, because technically, student will have to learn more and more networking. We know that nobody come here out perfect in networking, but him having this skill is more important than this skill. So imagine that businesses now knows that, and university now knows that. You guys need to understand this at the early time of your being in the school or the college. Don't wait until you are in the 3rd year or the 4th year to think about this, and then it will be too hard for you to learn about this stuff. It will be almost impossible for you to figure this stuff at that time. Believe me, I've been here 2 years now, 2.5 years. Most of the courses that I'm teaching are either in the 2nd year or the 3rd year. So students are about to graduate, and they come to me and says, Hassan, can you help me? I have a job interview tomorrow. I'm like, okay, for sure. Great, thank you very much. I ask him a couple of questions about the job interview, like what I ask people who are coming to me to work for me. And he freeze. He freeze. Seriously. I had female student in my class crying. Wallahi, she was crying in front of me. I'm like, please stop crying. If somebody came and you find you crying, he wouldn't believe that, or what I ask you is talk about yourself. I'm like, Hassan, I don't know what to do. I just thought, like, Habib, please stop. And she was like crying. I told her, like, what's wrong with you? She doesn't have that soft skill. She talked to her friend with absolutely no problem. She's a troublemaker in the class. She's a troublemaker in my class. She talks, she laughs, she jokes. But when she got to that position where she thought that I am her new manager and I can decide whether she can work or not work, she got stressed out. She got stressed out. She didn't have that experience. And she told me, what should I do? I told her, you need to build up that experience. You need to deal with people outside your parents. Unfortunately, most of you guys, like my kids, you only know your parents. Good. Most of you guys here are not local. Most of you don't have a huge family to deal with. Most of you don't have interaction with people that you don't know. Good. You know your parents. If you are really, really lucky, maybe your uncle will be here, maybe. Good. And then if you are very, very good guy, you will meet like 2 or 3 friends from the university. And if they are polite, they will let you know their parents. So your entire network is people that you know, or people that they care about you, because either he is your uncle or he is the father of your friend. Nice. You never had to deal with people that you absolutely don't know. Good. And this is when people start stressing out. People getting. Imagine yourself going to find a job. And I told that lady, what if they accepted you? And the next day you went to the office and you are a help desk, and the minute you sit down, somebody came and started shouting at you. Good. She was like, I will cry. And I know you'll cry. I know you'll cry. You need to take like 5 boxes of tissue with you. You need to build up that confidence. Of course, for her, it was too late because she was very close to getting the job and joining. So she had to suffer for the first 6 months in her job. She keep telling me, Hassan, every time somebody come to my counter, I get nervous. But I remember your speech that don't be nervous. The worst thing he can do, you will punch him in his face and you'll kick him out, until she got to the habit. In my advice for you guys, try to build these soft skills as you guys are working in the school, in the study. Go find a volunteering job where you deal with people that you don't know. Good. If you can find a volunteering job without your friend, that will be even better. Don't go to the volunteering job with the same shilla, alhamdulillah, the same 5 gears. You guys all go together, do the same volunteering job as 5 of you. No, put yourself in a situation to talk with people that you don't know. Put yourself in a situation where people might be stressed, might be angry, so you will know how to handle these situations. Good. How many of you guys now will start crying if I start shouting at you? Good. Most of you, even guys, believe me. If I started shouting, you guys will cry. And you have to see me in the customer service course when I start shouting at the student. Oh my God, I love that course. I used to shout out on the student. Good. I told them, you are the customer service guy. I am a customer. And he says, yes. I thought, are you ready? He says, yes. Are you sure? Yes. 3, 2, 1. Where the hell is my laptop? Why the hell you guys didn't do it? And the guy starts screaming, crying. You need to get that experience. So these soft skills, These soft skills, I cannot teach it to you. I teach a customer service course. I encourage the guys. I put them in the track. I give them tricks. I give them ideas. I give them, but if you don't do that in your life, you cannot get it. Good? Just like a driving license. No matter how I can put you in the car, I can tell you, I can explain to you in theory, but if you don't drive, you don't become better driver. So in my opinion for you guys, go try to do these kind of extra soft skill that nobody will help you with. Good? Anybody have any question for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.